Welcome back to Speak Unstoppable, the podcast where every conversation makes you unstoppable. I'm Maria.
And I'm John. Hey, good to be back.
Good to have you back. John, how are you doing today? Like, genuinely, how are you?
Honestly, I've been better. But I've also been way worse. So, somewhere in the middle, I guess.
Okay, I'll take somewhere in the middle. That's honest. I like honest.
Yeah, it's been one of those weeks where I feel like I'm doing a lot but going nowhere. You know that feeling?
Oh, I know that feeling very well.
Like I'm spinning my wheels, running, but the scenery never changes.
That is such a good image. Spinning your wheels.
Right? And the frustrating part is, I want to change. I genuinely want things to be different. I set goals. I make plans. I tell myself this week is the week. And then, nothing shifts. And I don't know if I'm broken or if I'm just doing it wrong.
You're not broken. I promise you that. And actually, John, what you just described, that gap between wanting to change and actually changing that, is exactly what we're talking about today.
Wait, really?
Really. Because that gap has a name. It has science behind it. And, more importantly, it has a way through. Today on Speak Unstoppable, we're talking about how to actually change your life. Not the motivational poster version, the real version.
Okay, I need this. I genuinely need this episode.
Good. Because our listeners probably do too. And hey, if you're listening right now and you've ever felt exactly what John just described, you are in the right place. Stick with us. This conversation is for you. But before we go any further, if this is your first time here, welcome. We are so glad you found us.
Seriously, welcome. This is a good one to start with.
On this podcast, we talk about real-life mindset, psychology, self-improvement, all in natural English. So you're learning the language A and D, leveling up your thinking at the same time.
2 for 1. Can't beat that.
You really can't. So if you're enjoying what you're hearing, please hit subscribe wherever you're listening right now. It helps more people find this show. And if this episode hits you somewhere real, leave us a comment or a review. We read every single one.
We really do. And honestly, hearing from listeners is one of the best parts of doing this.
Okay, let's get into it. So, John, let me ask you something. When you say you want to change, what does that actually look like for you? Like, what do you do?
Okay, so I get inspired, right? Maybe I watch something or I read something and I think, yes, this is it. I'm going to be different starting now. And I write things down. I make a whole plan. I even get excited.
Yeah.
And then maybe day 1 goes okay. Day 2, pretty good. Day 3, I'm kind of tired. Day 4, I forget. Day 5, the plan is somewhere under a pile of other plans.
Under a pile of other plans. That's painfully relatable.
It's very relatable and very embarrassing.
No, don't be embarrassed. Because here's the thing. What you're describing isn't a character flaw. It's not laziness. It's actually a very specific psychological pattern. And once you understand it, everything changes.
Okay, tell me, what is the pattern?
The pattern is this. Most people try to change their life by changing their actions. But they skip the most important step.
Which is?
Changing their identity.
Oh.
Who you believe you are at your core, that is what drives everything you do. Your habits, your decisions, your reactions, all of it flows from identity.
So if I believe I'm someone who always quits,
Then you will always find a reason to quit, even when you don't want to.
wow, that's kind of scary actually. Casting a vote?
Yes, every small action you take, every time you follow through on something, even something tiny, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become.
Oh, that's interesting. So like, if I go for a run, even a short one.
You're casting a vote for the identity of someone who is active.
And if I skip it?
You're casting a vote for the opposite.
So it's not about perfection. It's about accumulation.
Exactly. The votes add up. No single vote wins the election. But over time, the evidence builds. And your brain starts to believe, hey, this is who I am.
Okay, that reframe is actually huge. Because normally when I miss a day, I think, well, I failed. Might as well quit.
Which is the biggest trap.
Right. But if it's just one vote, losing one vote doesn't lose the election.
Now you've got it. That's the mindset. All right. So I want to break this down into what I think are the 3 real secrets of actually changing your life. Not tips you've heard 100 times. The real ones.
Yes. Give me the real ones.
Okay. Secret number 1. Identity before action.
Identity before action. Okay.
Here's the thing most people do. They say, I want to lose weight, so I'll go to the gym. Or I want to save money, so I'll make a budget. The action is the focus. And that's why it doesn't stick.
Because you're just doing a thing, not being a person.
Exactly. You're borrowing a behavior, not building a self. But when you flip it, when you start by asking what kind of person do I want to be, the actions start to feel different.
They feel like they belong to you.
It's confronting, yes, but it's also incredibly empowering. Because it means the real work of change isn't about forcing yourself to do more things. It's about shifting who you see when you look in the mirror.
Okay, so how does that actually happen? How do you shift your identity?
Great question. And I want to introduce a phrase here that I think is going to stick with you. The phrase is casting a vote. Yes, they're expressions of your identity, not obligations on a to-do list.
Okay, so practically, how do you start with identity? Like, what do you actually do?
You start with a simple question. What would a person do right now? Fill in the blank with the person you want to become.
So like, what would a disciplined person do right now?
Right. And maybe the answer is just they'd put their phone down and start the thing they've been avoiding.
That's uncomfortable, but fair.
It's uncomfortable because it's true. And that discomfort? That's actually a good sign. It means you're right at the edge of your current identity, which is exactly where growth happens.
Okay, so secret number 1, identity before action. I'm writing that down. What's number 2?
Secret number 2. Make it smaller than you think.
Smaller?
Way smaller. Like embarrassingly small.
Okay, that's not what I expected.
Here's why. When we decide to change, our brain gets very ambitious. I'm going to exercise every day for an hour. I'm going to read 30 books this year. I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes every morning.
Guilty. All of those.
And those ambitions aren't bad. The problem is, your brain also has a threat detection system. And when something feels hard, new, or uncertain that system fires. And it says, "This is dangerous. Retreat."
The threat detection system. That sounds very real.
It's very real. It's called the amygdala response in psychology. But in plain terms, it's the part of you that resists change because change feels like a threat.
So making it smaller defeats that system?
It bypasses it. You're under the radar. Your brain doesn't even notice a 2-minute habit. It doesn't trigger resistance.
So you just sneak change past your own brain.
Exactly. And here's the beautiful part. Once you start, the momentum builds. 2 minutes becomes 5. 5 becomes 15. Not because you forced it, but because your identity is shifting. You're starting to see yourself as someone who does this thing.
Okay, wait. So the small habit is like a door.
Ugh, I love that. Yes, the small habit is a door. You just have to walk through it first. The room inside can be as big as you want.
That's really good. Okay, smaller than you think. Got it. What's secret number 3?
Secret number 3, and this one might surprise you, is design your environment before you need willpower.
Oh,
Because here's the truth about willpower. It runs out. Every single day. You wake up with a certain amount of it, and every decision you make, big or small, uses a little bit. By the evening, most people have almost none left.
that explains so much about my evenings.
Right? Why do we make the worst decisions at night? Low willpower. So the solution isn't to try harder. The solution is to make the good choice the easy choice before you even need to make it.
Like setting out your running shoes the night before.
Perfect example. The shoes are already there. You don't have to decide anything in the morning. The decision was already made.
Or putting your phone in another room at night.
Yes, so you're not fighting temptation in the moment. You've already removed it.
Okay, this is actually brilliant because it's lazy in the best way.
It is. It's strategic laziness. Work smart at the design stage so you don't have to fight yourself at the action stage.
Okay, so let me recap these 3 because they're really landing for me. Identity before action. Make it smaller than you think. And design your environment before you need willpower.
Perfect. You got all 3.
I feel like I've been doing all of this backwards.
Most of us have. That's why we're talking about it. Okay, I want to share a couple of stories here because I think this becomes really real when we see it in actual people's lives.
Yes, please, real stories.
The first one is about a woman named Elena. She came to this idea of change the way a lot of us do after a really hard time. She'd gone through a painful breakup, she was in a job she hated, and she felt completely stuck. And she did what a lot of people do. She set enormous goals. New city, new career, new body, new everything, all at once.
Oh no.
Exactly. And it collapsed within 3 weeks. She couldn't sustain it. But here's what she did differently the second time. She asked one question. What is one tiny thing I can do today that a healthy, confident version of me would do?
Just one thing.
Just one. And the answer that day was she made her bed.
Huh. That seems so small.
It is small. But she did it the next day. And the next. And then she started cooking one simple meal at home instead of ordering takeout every night. And then she started going for short walks. Each one just a vote.
Votes adding up.
Votes adding up. 6 months later, she told a friend, I feel like a completely different person. She hadn't moved cities. She wasn't in a new career yet, but her identity had shifted. She believed in herself differently. And everything else started to follow from that.
That's really beautiful. It's not a dramatic overnight transformation.
No, real change almost never is.
What's the second story?
The second one hits closer to home for a lot of our listeners, I think. It's about a guy, let's call him David, who was trying to learn a new language.
Oh, very relevant for our listeners.
Very relevant. He kept starting and stopping. He'd study intensely for 2 weeks, then disappear for a month. Classic, boom, and bust.
I know that pattern well.
So, someone suggested to him, don't study for 2 hours when you feel motivated. Study for 5 minutes, every single day, no matter what, even if you only learn one new word.
5 minutes. That's it?
That's it. His only rule was, never miss 2 days in a row. 1 miss is human. 2 misses is a new habit, forming the wrong habit.
Oh, that's a smart rule. Never miss twice.
Never miss twice. And within a year, David was having real conversations in his target language, not because he found some secret method, because he showed up. Consistently. Small, but consistent beats large, but occasional every single time.
Small but consistent beats, large but occasional. I want to write that on my wall.
Write it on your wall. Put it on your phone. Tattoo it somewhere.
Maybe not that far, but it's sticking with me.
Okay, I want to stop here for a second and talk directly to you, the person listening right now.
Yes. This part's for you.
Because we've talked about identity, we've talked about small habits, we've talked about environment design. And maybe right now you're nodding along, feeling a little inspired, thinking, yes, this makes so much sense.
And then the episode ends, and you go back to your life.
Right. And nothing changes.
Which is the cruel irony of podcasts about change.
It is. So, I want to ask you something directly. Not John. You, the person listening. What is the one area of your life where you have been waiting for a big moment to finally start changing? Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your English learning journey you keep saying you'll study when you have more time. Maybe it's a relationship you've been avoiding fixing. Maybe it's a dream you keep promising yourself you'll chase one day.
One day. That word one day does a lot of damage.
It really does. Because one day is not on the calendar. Monday is on the calendar. Tomorrow morning is on the calendar. 5 minutes from now is on the calendar. One day is just a way of giving yourself permission to stay the same.
Wow. That hit.
And you deserve more than one day. You deserve a real day. A specific day. And that day can be today. Right now, after this episode, what is one tiny vote you can cast for the person you want to become?
I'm genuinely thinking about mine right now.
Good. Hold that thought. We'll come back to action items in a moment. But first, let's talk about something that nobody really warns you about when it comes to change. And that's the dip.
The dip?
Every change process has a dip. A moment usually around week 2 or 3 where the initial excitement is completely gone, the results aren't showing yet, and everything in you says, "This isn't working." Quit.
Oh my gosh. That is week 3 of every single thing I've ever tried.
For almost everyone. And most people quit in the dip. Not because they're weak, not because the goal was wrong, just because nobody told them the dip was coming.
So knowing about the dip is actually a form of preparation.
Exactly. You can't always avoid difficulty, but you can stop being blindsided by it. When the dip hits, instead of thinking, "I'm failing," you think, "Oh, this is the dip. This is normal. This is where most people quit, and I'm not going to."
That reframe is everything. It's like having a map. You know there's a hard section on the trail, but you also know the trail continues on the other side.
That's it. That's exactly it. The map doesn't make the hill easier, but it makes you less likely to turn around.
Because you know it ends.
Because you know it ends. And on the other side of the dip is where real change lives. That's where the new identity settles in. That's where it stops feeling forced and starts feeling like just who you are.
Okay, that is genuinely one of the most useful things I've heard.
And you know what? Let's make sure we're all taking this vocabulary with us. The dip. The identity shift. Casting a vote. These are concepts worth keeping.
And honestly, casting a vote is such a useful phrase. In English and just, as a mindset tool,
It really is. And it comes from the work of James Clear, who wrote an incredible book called Atomic Habits. If you haven't read it, add it to your list. But even without the book, you have the core idea now. Every action is a vote for the person you're becoming. Okay, let's get practical. Action items. 3 things you can do right now, today, this week, to actually start changing your life.
yes. Practical, let's go.
Action item 1. Write down who you want to become, not what you want to do.
So not I want to run a marathon.
Not I want to run a marathon. Instead, I am becoming someone who moves their body and takes care of their health.
Feels different when you say it that way.
It is different. It's an identity statement, not a goal statement. Goals can be missed. Identity is about direction.
Okay, I love that. What's number 2?
Action item 2. Choose one habit, just one, and make it smaller than you think is necessary. If you think 5 minutes is too small, that's probably perfect.
I'm going to steal that. If you think it's too small, it's probably perfect.
Steal it. Use it. Live it. And commit to doing that one thing every day this week. Not perfectly, just consistently.
Never miss twice.
Never miss twice. And action item 3. Change one thing in your environment today. One thing that makes the good choice easier or the bad choice harder. Maybe it's your phone. Maybe it's your fridge. Maybe it's your workspace. Pick one. Change it today.
These are so doable. Like, none of these require a personality transplant.
None of them do. Because you don't need a new personality. You just need a new direction. Small, consistent, in the right direction, that's all change actually requires.
Okay, I feel genuinely different after this conversation. Not just informed like something actually shifted.
That's the goal, not information. Shift. Okay, Let's do a quick review because great language learning includes revisiting what we learned.
Yes. Quick recap time.
So today we talked about how to actually change your life. And the big idea was change starts with identity, not action. The key English phrase we learned today, casting a vote. Every small action you take is casting a vote for the person you're becoming.
Every action is a vote. And no single vote wins the election, but they add up.
Exactly. We also talked about 3 secrets: identity before action, making your habits smaller than you think, and designing your environment before you need willpower.
And the concept of the dip that hard moment around week 2 or 3 where most people quit.
But now you know it's coming. And knowing is the first protection.
Small but consistent beats, large but occasional.
That's the one to remember.
And one day is not on the calendar. Today is...
Today is. I love that you said that. Okay, before we wrap up, one last thing. We have a question for you, our listener, and we want you to answer it in the comments below this episode. Wherever you're watching or listening, tell us,
what is one small vote you are going to cast today for the person you want to become?
it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be impressive. It just has to be real.
Write it down. Tell us. Make it real by saying it out loud.
Because here's what we know about saying things out loud, it makes them more likely to happen. Language is powerful. Your words shape your world.
And you're learning a whole language right now. So use it. Write your answer in English. Practice the language. Practice the mindset. Both at the same time.
That is what Speak Unstoppable is all about.
Every conversation makes you unstoppable.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. If this episode added something to your life, share it with someone who needs it. Hit subscribe, leave a review. Come back next time.
We'll be here. And so will you.
See you in the next one. Take care of yourselves and remember, every vote counts. Every single one.